Oh, right. I've seen real shares already, boy. Welcome, welcome. So we back up and running. We have a little challenge with the internet today, but nevertheless, we back on. Okay, Archie? Remember what point I was at? So I want to just finish off by telling Brian Big that I am not an individual who seeks to stoop under the table for a possession. Not me. I know you work hard in the party, Brian Big, as I was saying, in the little amateur area that you work. And do not sell yourself short, Brian Big. Do not sell yourself short to have people believe that they are doing you a favor when you stand up and work in this party. Do not sell yourself short. Just take that as an advice from your friend. Do not sell yourself short. You work in the party, then you work in the party. And I am a worker. I am committed to this party. As we speak, many offers continue to come before me. Many offers. Offers that I reject. Offers that would have put me in a very strong financial standing. I reject. You know why I reject? Because I have some values. And I said it and I will say it here tonight to all the detractors. Loyalty have no price attached to it. And I said it and I will say it again. My loyalty first is to the people of this country. My loyalty first is to the people of this country. My loyalty second is to this party. And my loyalty third is to whoever leads this party. So write it down. Get the facts straight. So all you want to call me to ask me no idiotic question. Alright? So I think that takes care of Brian Big comment. Wrong man, Brian Big, because you know I will respond to any dotish comment that all put out towards me. I am going to respond. I am not going to respond to the Facebook bloggers because they is of no significance to me. But persons who hold position in this party, who believe that they could say what they want and do what they want publicly, I will respond to you. And let me tell you something. I don't have to go down in the gutter. I don't have to go in the cesspit to deal with all you. I will deal with all you above board. So let me get into some things here now. Actually, we up and running, right? Right. So since we up and running, only tag Barry Padarat for me. Tag Barry Padarat. Call him, tag him, message him, but get him on the program. Get Barry on the program. Barry Padarat, in his press release, I wonder if some of these people just think before they talk, or if they're suffering with foot and mouth disease. So they often put the foot in the mouth, only to realize that at the end of the day, the damage that they cause affects the party. And let me develop by the time I'll get Padarat on the program. We stood up on a constitutional matter. On a democratic matter. And listen, nobody, I believe, is more disappointed than the pack of rubbish that I listen to officials of this party put in the public domain. When I listen to the rubbish that is out in the public domain by high-ranking officials of this party, I tell myself, I understand clearly why this party is in opposition. When I listen, ladies and gentlemen, to a trivial matter where the NATEC said that there would be no internal election because we're focusing on the eye of the bird. We laser focus on the general election. Which and while back in 2010, we had everything. Internal election, general election, and victorious at the poll. But all of a sudden, the kind of rubbish that I listen to, I say, but wait now. Like is a war taking place here? You can't stand up for democracy. We could fight the PNM on democracy, but you can't stand up for democracy inside here. Because anytime you stand up for democracy inside here, boy oh boy, they assassinate you, they shoot you down, they murder you, they kick you, they vomit you, they spit on you, they do everything as you stand up for democracy in this party. That is what I have seen from those press releases that out in the public domain. They try to make the messenger look like the enemy. And they try to make the enemy look as a savior. I ain't asking all you, I'm telling all you, and all of you doubting Thomas. Good Friday gone. So don't waste time to message me to ask me no stupidness. Don't waste time to message me to tell me what you think or what you feel. I'm not interested in that. I deal with facts. I don't deal with fiction. So don't waste your time to message me and tell me, but you didn't hear this and you didn't hear that and you didn't hear that. You know why you don't hear? Because you're blind. Because some people can't see further than this here, the nose. I stand up with a team of individuals who said the NATEX election must be called. And I see big men and women put out press release lying to their own self. From the house cat come back. From the house cat jump out, they jump the gun. Listen, man, listen to me, I am talking about real people, Try to change the narrative. If the narrative was an internal election would have been called, when Rushton Parry came out and delivered that press conference, before all this bunch of idiotism with one leader and we support and we this and we support Kamala and we this and one leader and one party and one that, you don't think that they would have come out and said, well look, Rushton had to be a madman. We already have a date set for election that we ain't exposed yet. And Rushton is aware of that. So how come Rushton could jump out and tell this country that he is demanding on behalf of the membership that internal election be called? You wouldn't think that would have put everything to rest? You see, but people like so much bacchanal and confusion that they cannot think for themselves. People like so much, I hope they don't talk Barry Padarate. People like so much bacchanal and confusion, so they can't see for themselves. So they go down a road, and when they realize that the road that they go down, they reach a dead end, then everybody start to backtrack and backpedal. And they jump the gun and election will be called when election is due. And all that pacadotish talk. All that dotish talk to people like me and others who know better, they could fool all you with that. But let me come to Barry Padarat. Barry Padarat, let me ask you a question here today. You just think before you talk? You just know what you're saying? Or you just talk because you have a hole in your face? That is why I want to ask you today. Barry Padarat said, let me just find it. Anita Haynes, so let me read this and then we will dissect it. Anita Haynes was gifted with a UNC safe seat at a time when no one knew who she was, and she had no impressive track record in the party. That's what Mr. Pandey would have called a maha ni makaram. Anita has never expressed issues with the Natex or the leader. Anita has never expressed issues with the Natex or the leader, but for quite a while has openly engaged in leadership ambition of her own, if she is to be truthful. I want to listen what this individual is saying. Anita has never expressed issue with the Natex or the leader, but for quite a while has openly engaged in leadership ambition of her own, if she is to be truthful. Therefore, having found herself in the circumstances that she has with Parry and a few dissidents, I await the outcome. That is Barry Padarat, idiot talk. So let me help you, Barry Padarat. And I want the public to judge if what you are saying is truthful or if what you're saying is nothing but a myth. Anita Haynes was a national scholarship winner. Anita Haynes was a national scholarship winner. Anita Haynes graduated from St. Joseph Convent, a national scholarship winner, graduated from St. Joseph Convent. Anita Haynes, ladies and gentlemen, entered into the public service where she was research officer and speech writer in the office of the Prime Minister. Who was the Prime Minister at the time? Trinidad and Tobago. When Anita Haynes entered into that public service as a speechwriter, as a research officer, who was the Prime Minister? Anita Haynes was then recruited as a senator under whose government? She served for 5 years in the Senate. And then Anita Haynes was also appointed PRO, Public Relation Officer, of what party? Barry Padarat. Anita Haynes also worked with the internal campaign team of which party? Barry Padarat. Anita Haynes, because of her value, Barry Padarat, was screened for the Tabakit seat where she sits as the MP as of today, Barry Padarat. Barry Padarat, you said that Anita Haynes has no impressive track record. That is what you say, Barry? A young, intelligent, bright, articulate, beautiful, married, young woman has no impressive track record, Barry Padarat? That is what you said, Barry? Barry, you cannot step into this young, beautiful, talented, gifted, articulate, qualified, educated young woman, Barry. You cannot fit in her clothes, Barry. You may be able to fit in her clothes literally. Literally, you may be able to fit in she dress and she high heel shoes. Literally. But outside of that, Barry, you cannot even think about fitting in Anita clothes, Barry. Anita qualification supersedes your intellectual thinking, Barry. Anita does not open her mouth and blow hot air, Barry. Anita's contributions in the parliament is calculated, Barry Padarat. It is educated, Barry Padarat. This young woman, Barry, any individual in politics will like to emanate this young lady that they call Anita Haynes. So when you speak of no track record, I think you have to be speaking while looking into the mirror. When you talk about gifted with a seat, you should be the last to talk, Barry Padarat. You should be the last to talk. Because the gift you had, probably when Anita was studying and qualifying herself, you were busy toting high heel shoes and handbag. You were busy toting high heel shoes and handbag when this young lady was qualifying herself to be the young woman that she is today. You call Anita Haynes a Maha ni Makaram. You fast and out of place, Barry Padarat. You fast and out of place. If this country and if this party had more people like Anita Haynes, we would be in government. Since 2020. But the problem is all you believe that all you could pull down these young qualified individuals. You can't pull down this woman, boy. Know your place. I will defend these women. You see, in my era, it used to take women to attack women. But it seems as though that my era has now resurface. In my days, the woman used to attack women. But it seems as though those days come back. We know how to defend our women. We know how to protect our women. We don't drag down our women. We don't beat up on our women. We respect our women. That is what we do. So for you to call this young lady a Maha ni Makaram, I am saying, Mr. Padarat, or I think I should just say, I am saying Barry Padarat. That is what I should say. I am saying Barry Padarat. That under the heavens, you cannot touch Anita Haynes. You could pull down the sun, you cannot touch Anita Haynes. You could pull down the moon, you cannot touch Anita Haynes. You could keep the rainbow, you still can't touch Anita Haynes. That is what you could do. You pull down the sun, you can't touch her. You pull down the moon, you can't touch her. Keep the rainbow, you still can't touch her. So I will leave you there for now. All right? I will rest you and leave you there for now, Mr. Padarat. Or let me take back that. I will leave you there for now, Barry Padarat. Know your place. Don't be fast and out of place. It's people like you who have us in opposition. People like you have us in opposition. And I could go further, you know. Don't feel like I can go further, you know. I could go so far that you will never believe how far I could go. But I ain't going down that road. You see, last week, I said I ain't going down that road. I ain't going down that road this week neither. But I could go. Because I know the truth, I had the facts, and I could go. That is my position. I, Victor Roberts, is committed to this party, despite what you think and what you feel. Because what you think and what you feel doesn't matter to me. I am committed to this United National Congress. I am a lifetime member here, and I am committed here. And I will do what I have to do to ensure that this party get into government. I will do what I have to do to ensure this party get into government. Because it seems as though that people, you are not fed up with opposition yet. It seems that you ain't fed up with opposition yet. Because if you fed up with opposition, you will do what you have to do to ensure we get into government. We have too much liability. Too much liability hanging over our heads. While you people start to fight and twist and turn, you won't face reality. Why we in opposition? All they want to talk, let we talk. Why we in opposition? All that the honorable leader did in 2010 to 2015. Why we lose the election in 2015? Answer now. All you press release people, answer now. Why we lose in 2015? We did a tremendous job. Why we lose in 2015? Who are you going to blame, EBC? Who are you going to blame, Rowley? Who are you going to blame? So we campaign on all that we did between 10 and 15. and we lose in 2020. We only mash up this country in 2020, 2018, 2019, 2017, 2016. Mash it up, break it up. Send this country nose diving over the precipice. Why we lose in 2020? Me in answering them questions for today, no, I go answer them, you know. I had the answer, but I ain't answering them this evening. Why we lose in 2020? All that the PNM do, all the austerity measures that they bring upon you, all the hardship, all who lose their businesses, all the forex that capsized, all the economy that break up, mash up, broke up. Why we lose in 2020? All you have to answer the question, not me. I know. No, don't ask me to tell all you. Think for yourself. So we lose in 2015. We lose in 2020. And all you have a problem. All you have a problem because those of us who fed up with opposition call out loud for a NATEX election to be held so we could go into 2025 with the best team to get the opportunity to get into government. All you vex. You know who vex? You know who vex? All individuals. All who holding on to a skirt, a pants, a cardo, a handbag, a shoes, and anything else they could hold on to. Them is who vex. Them vex because we make a call for a legitimate, a constitutional, a democratic process to be upheld, where all of us, where the wider base of the membership will have the opportunity to choose who they believe is the best team to get the fence line voters, the undecided voters, the marginal voters to come out and vote to remove the PNM, because without them, without that catchment of voters, the PNM will remain in power. Don't fool all yourself. And that is what you can take with Victor, because that's great, real, and I say it like it is. Without a team of candidates to attract the undecided, the fence line, and the marginal voters, we goes nowhere. That is facts, not fiction. We could jump how we want. We could pants how we want. We could shoot down one another on Facebook how we want. That is the reality. And it is proven between 2015, 2020, and it is even proven with this last local election. Popular votes doesn't win seat. Popular votes doesn't put you in government. That don't put you in government. So jumping up and telling me we get more votes and we get more votes, where that put you? We gone in with 7 seats and we come back out with 7 seats, but only jumping and prancing and telling me that we win the election. Yes, you always a bunch of jokers. Yes, you always a bunch of jokers. We gone in with 7, come out with 7, but we won. That is the fantasy world that all you want to live in. But the reality world is 7-7 is a tie. That is what it is. That is what it is. 7-7. Jump high, jump low. You could jump up high, you could jump up low. You could jump until you bust your toe. 7-7. That's a tie. That's the reality. And if we want to get into government, ladies and gentlemen, you better put aside all this idiotic talk and all this press release. All them press release. Because let me tell you something, them press release only keeping you right where you are in opposition. It ain't carrying you no way. Because until we becomes attractive, until we could catch the population being attracted to us by the people of the world to represent them, is until the PNM going to remain right there. That is facts, not fiction. So all who want to believe, all who feel and want to believe that we making a legitimate call to give the membership the opportunity, all who want to believe that ain't making no sense, well, hold on and see if 2025 going to make sense. You see, all you must face reality. All of us is UNC. All of us fighting for the same common good. But in order to win the fight, we must attract the public. We could attract each other. We could be partner and friend with each other. We could like, rather, or prefer. That don't win election, ladies and gentlemen. Like, rather, and prefer does not win election. What wins an election is when the public have confidence in the team that you present to them, that they will say, yes, this is a team that is transparent. This is a team with integrity. This is a team that will move the country forward. That is what people vote on. People don't vote on long-standing membership. This politics is a relay. Some of you would fight the battle for years, but there is a time that you have to make room for the young people who is up to date with the affairs of this world, who is digital savvy, who understand how to drive an economy, who understand how to attract foreign investors, understand the mindset of the young so that they would be able to bring policies to reduce crime. You will have to make way. All of us have a shelf life. All of us have a shelf life. And there is a time where you will become stale in politics. There is a time when you will become a political dummy. And you have to make room for those who are brighter, for those with vision. To move the party forward. A stronger UNC would only make a stronger TNT. A stronger UNC would make a stronger TNT. That is what we as members of this party have to understand. And that is what I will fight for. It matters not what you say about me. I am not going to stand up against the PNM on democratic and constitutional issues and allow it to fall down in the party that I belongs to. And those of you who would support that type of behavior, you are nothing but hypocrites to your own self. This party have to take government in 2025. This party have to save this country. But in order for that to happen, we cannot bully our way. We cannot break the rules and regulation. Because when you break the rules and regulation in the party, you will break the rules and regulation in the country. We must be committed to the democratic process. We must be honest to ourselves. We cannot lie to look good on the media when we know that we lie to ourselves and the membership. I am not prepared to do that. I am not prepared to lie to the membership of this party, despite what it caused. In the screening for that same alderman position, that Brian Big, who operates like a dummy when he talk that dotishness, he was there. And I made it clear, I will stand for what is right. I will stand for what is right, no matter what it costs. And I have proven that, and I will continue to prove that. I am going to stand for what is right. You, the membership of this party, need to stand with me and stand with all who will stand for what is right. Because if we doesn't stand for what is right, we will never get into government. You can't lie your way into government. You have to convince the population to get into government. If we as UNC members just come out and vote in the UNC stronghold, all that will happen is our votes would be high. We will always get more votes than the PNM, but we'll never get into government. Because to get into government, you have to convince the undecided voters. You have to convince the fence line voters. You have to convince the marginal voters. And how would we do that? That's the $1 million question. The $1 million question is, how would we do that? By lying on press release, you feel that will convince anybody? You feel that convincing anybody? By lying to yourself, you feel that going to convince the voters? All that do is convince some of these sycophants who really don't care if this country move forward. Because if you care if this country move forward, you will be happy to support. You will be happy to make a call. You will be happy to stand up for the democratic process and said, look, listen, this is what must happen, and when that happens, we will join forces and do what we have to do. That could only happen with honesty and integrity. And let me tell you something. I will never attack the party. Never. But I will attack the individuals who feel they could lie on paper and hoodwink the population. Not with me. Not with me. Rest assured. I call a spade, I call a hoe, and I call Barry Padarat an idiot. That is me. For those dirty statements he made in relation to Anita Haynes. That is what I do. The country is begging for good governance. The country is begging for honest politicians. The country is begging for a space to breathe. The country is begging to get rid of the PNM. But the country will not get rid of the PNM unless they see individuals who they can be attracted to carry this country forward. This country don't want Keith Rowley. This country don't want the PNM, you know. But you have to ask yourself a question. You have to ask yourself a question. And the question you must ask yourself is why we are in opposition. That's the question you have to ask yourself. And until you come up with that answer, is until you will be going on social media and breathing hot air that bunks off, air that does absolutely nothing to anybody. You hear what I'm saying to you, the people? Until the wider base of this party chooses the strongest UNC to remove Keith Rowley is until we would remain in opposition. That is the hard talk that people cannot stomach. They cannot take reality. So they try their best to talk all kind of dotish talk. Some of them who wants to get 2 terms to ensure they have a pension, because you cannot get a pension until you make 2 terms in parliament. Some of them will say and do anything just to get that pension. They don't care how long we remain in opposition, as long as the business fix. That is some of the selfishness that we have existing today. I hear people talk about political suicide and all that packadotishness. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. This country will always make room for honest politicians. This country will always make room for people like Parry and others, and Anita Haynes, Rai, Rodney and others. This country always have room. This country will make room for honest politicians. So I doesn't fear. A man tell me the other day, Robert said, no, that is it. They will never select you for alderman again because of the stance you take. And so what? And so what? Wasn't I living before that? Would I not be living after that? This country will always have room for people like me, because I stand for what is right and I speak out against what is wrong. So, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for the next episode of The Lion and the House Cat. Stay tuned for The Lion and the House Cat. Get ready. To choose the strongest UNC in order to create the strongest TNT. My time gone. Good night.
Let us stand together.
Yeah. We cry from the ghetto, and the way on them feel like they don't care about the money. Pick the vibes. If you want to see a better vibes, yeah, share the light. When the youth them, no, we got to try. Pick the vibes. If you want to see a better vibes, yeah, share the light. When the youth them, no, we got to try.
So why we allow this administration to erode our democracy? This is a democratic society, and therefore every creed and race must find an equal place.
Yeah, pick the vibes. If you want to see a better vibes, yeah, share the light. When the youth them, no, we got to try. Pick the vibes. If you want to see a better vibes, yeah, share the light. When the youth them, no, we got to try.
So I am